want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of the pain. Go away. I'm tired of yesterday. Father.
Saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
I know that I gotta stay away from all your games. Yeah, I know that I found somebody else to love me one day. You'll realize the grass ain't greener on the other side. No, you did me dirty. I wish I could tell you that I want you here with me, but you'll never love me like the way we used to be. Too far from Saturn, lost in the patterns. Where's the stars align so we could be free? Palms are sweaty, knees unsteady. I can't see my head on straight. Heart is heavy, wasn't ready. Don't think I can see your face. Now we're just friends. How long till that ends? It feels like forever away. Yeah, we're on, and we're on. It will never be enough. Now we're gone, and we're on our way. If I stay, if I go, it won't change this lonely road. So I guess I'll just have to wait for the feelings to fade. Oh, for the feelings to fade. Oh, if I stay, if I go, it won't change this lonely road. So I guess I'll just have to wait for the feelings to fade. For the feelings to fade. For the feelings to fade. I hope that you know I never wanted to be gold. I think it's the only way I know to be alone. Too far from heartbreak, can't feel the pain. Ain't it a shame I think I sold my only soul? Palms are sweaty, knees unsteady. I can't see my head on straight. Heart is heavy, wasn't ready. Don't think I can see your face. Now we're just friends. How long till that ends? It feels like forever away. Yeah, we're on, and we're on. It will never be enough. Now we're gone, and we're on our way. If I stay, if I go, it won't change this lonely road. So I guess I'll just have to wait for the feelings to fade. Oh, for the feelings to fade. Oh, if I stay, if I go, it won't change this lonely road. So I guess I'll just have to wait for the feelings to
That. Wizard?
I got.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to
Celestial's Twitch channel. My name's Cliff. I'm here today with Deadly Ghost. How you doing, my man?
I'm having a really interesting Thursday, so I'm hoping that we end the day on a high note. You know, this is going to be a promising series. Hopefully, we have a couple of heavy hitters and a couple of big mouths flaming each other. So, you know, it's bound to be a good series.
I definitely agree. So Celestial Twilight versus Frostbite Mayhem. Luna versus Harold. This is going to be a big one. We've been looking forward to this one all split long, haven't we?
We do. And I know Harold has said some words about our team. You know, there have been some exchanges, but you know, VL has always had a lot of let's say trash talk. Let's call it trash talk.
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
say but I'm looking forward to this series, and I'm looking forward to see how Harold will perform in his, what is it, first official split as a jungler, because last split was kind of wonky.
First official split. I'm not sure if he actually played a game or not. We're into draft though. Bans coming in quick and fast. So Frostbite Mayhem banning out the Lilia away from Stevo. The Nico's gone as well. Craft very proficient on that. Twilight banning out the Aurora and the Akali. So it looks like a lot of mid focus. You could say 3 mid champs banned already. I'd suspect that Nico's more towards the bot lane than the mid lane, but there's a lot of target, and there goes the Tristana from Ket as well.
Well, yeah, it is looking like they're banning out a lot of the mid laners. Maybe try to give Luna some free matchup. Well, not free. I would say a more favorable matchup. So it is looking interesting. The Xin Zhao getting banned there is interesting as well, and the first pick Senna here. That's a really nice one.
Yeah, first pick Senna. Senna very strong right now. I wonder, that's probably going to go over towards Josh on their ADC role. Static Shiv Senna seems to be really popping off recently. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it looks very strong. And then the Mel coming across from Celestial Twilight, you have to imagine that's going over to Luna.
Yeah, I think Luna has had Luna has had a couple of mid laners that she really likes to play to, and also Mel, I think, kind of falls into the category of the control mage that wants to farm from far but still be a massive annoyance. As we do also see the Gwen. Also, Cliff, I will require the link.
Oh, okay. Do you not have the link? Hold the phone. Boom. No, that's the wrong link. Hold on, my man. 1 second. I just sent you the Twitch link for some reason. The link for the draft you want, yeah?
Yes. While we're waiting there, Gwen and Mel, that's a lot of AP there, so I'm assuming we're gonna have to see a lot of AD as the Jax is locked in here, so I'm guessing that's going to be going towards Harold, because Harold is a prominent Jax player. I mean, it could just go towards Skimpanza, but it's not likely, and we do see the Victor.
Yeah, I mean, the Jax is a flex. Jungle War top. Definitely stronger in the top lane. But I think it has a decent matchup against the Gwen, so I could see Harold definitely taking this, and Ket answering off with the Lucian. I expect to see a Nami ban here. Maybe Emilio, maybe a Braum from Mayhem. Shut down that support pool as quickly as possible.
I mean, if Mayhem are smart, they're going to ban out Braum and Milio, because Nami, not currently the best support to play with Lucian. So it's even with a couple of Cs, because of Lucian's passive, even when champions get CC'd, he gets that passive extra damage. So I think a couple of enchanters or even Emilio, like you said, could be the best champion for Lucian there. The Nami, I don't think is the best one, But to be fair, Nami would fare quite well in this comp that kind of likes to jump at you, or at least run at this Celestial Twilight comp.
Yeah, personally, I think that Nami is kind of goated with Lucian. My personal
Of course.
preference, I really do think that Nami is very, very good with the Lucian. It looks like we're going to go for the Brawn ban and an Ornn ban as well. Celestial
Mm.
Twilight's pick. Surely this is the Nami. Not a Nami. It's a Nautilus. Okay. I guess Nautilus is very good into Senna, very good into Victor as well. Both immobile carries, easy to pick up with those Qs. I would have liked to have
I
seen
mean,
an army personally, but they do
I
lack
mean,
engage right now, don't they?
yeah, they do. But also, what I do like about this is that technically it could be a Nautilus top lane, because there have been some whispers about Nautilus top lane, but I think Twilight they're going to keep it standard-ish and try to play a more safe draft. The Alistar getting locked in, sort of deny all of the engage that the Nautilus wants to do. That's a pretty nice one, and also partially to dissuade the Lucian, who also really likes to get in your face there, as we're seeing the Cho'Gath being hovered here, and it is locked in, so that's a lot of magic damage here on Mayhem's side. Cho'Gath, Victor, both magic damage. Jack's a lot of mixed damage, and Senna has some magic damage in her kit as well. So, I mean, if it's going to come down to how many Merchants are going to get bought here for Twilight, but I'm waiting to see this last pick, and it is going to be the Scion. So this is a skill matchup. However, Cho'Gath can almost always have the advantage because of that silence interrupting the queue.
Yeah, the silence interrupting the queue is very, very key to that matchup. I will say, though, that they both do kind of get to free scale in this matchup, this topside matchup. So it will be interesting. I think you definitely do have to favor it towards the Cho'Gath, but Scion gets to build his optimal build path this game. He gets to go for the MR Sunfire item that I always forget the name of. What's that one called? Do you remember?
I do not remember it off the top of my head. All I'm going to doesn't matter. MR Bami Cinder item is goated. That's
Hollow Radiance. Hollow Radiance.
Hollow
That's
Radiance.
the name.
There we go.
Hollow Radiance. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Casters, by the way.
Yeah. You just ignore the fact that both of us had no idea what it is. Just ignore the fact that I build it in half my games and I still didn't know what it was, so...
or whatever Ornn says. But yeah, Hollow Radiance really good for Scion here. You can also go for the Unending Despair if you want to, but I think the Heartsteel might be a little bit more.
Yeah, he's gonna have lots of opportunities to proc that. Hollow Radiance, Heartsteel. There's going to be a lot of melee things for the Scion to proc the Heartsteel on. Probably want to go for the Overlords third. Overlords is very strong this patch.
Overlord's Blood Mill, yeah, that's a lot of... That's going to be a lot of health, a lot of AD for this Scion, and also... I've seen some funny Overlord's Blood Mail and Titanic Hydra things. I've seen Alois one-shot people with the full health Mundo, and technically there's no reason why Scion shouldn't do the same, being as Scion stacks health even more than Mundo.
Yeah, the W passive just giving you health. Is it health every time you CS a minion or something that you get the bonus health from it?
Yes. 6 health by melee and ranged minions, and also small jungle monsters. large monsters, and cannon minions give you 12, along with the epic jungle monsters.
Yeah, so Sion's going to be stacking that health up quite a lot. So you definitely, maybe we are looking at the Overlord's Bloodmail being very strong this game, because they don't have a lot of damage to kill this Sion. But on the flip side, Celestial Twilight really need to rely on this Gwen just to kill the Cho'Gath. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, really, I'd say.
I mean, yeah, a little bit. You're going to be looking at a lot of snip, snip, snip to basically kill the Cho'Gath. However, I think a more dangerous thing would be if this Jax and this Alistar can get onto the Lucian that kind of wants to get in your face a little bit, just to be able to use all of that potential. So the range advantage definitely on the side of Frostbite, with the exception of the Mel by Luna, which I think Mel in her own right can definitely chunk Cho'Gath quite a bit. So it's all going to be whether Luna can get really ahead in this early game, but also, Cliff, I'm not going to beat around the bush anymore. Why are we counterpicking ourselves when we saw the Mel with picking Victor? Mel can
Victor. Yeah.
Mel can just enter the minion wave and stop Victor from farming. The whole spiel with Victor is farming minions, and Mel just denies that with her W. Like, yeah, I've been trying to avoid it all, all of this draft, but like, that seems like basically this is Victor's worst matchup.
Yeah, I don't disagree. So the teams have gone through the draft. We're in the spectator delay now. We're going to drop over to a quick video whilst we get all set up on our end. And when we're done with this video, we will be right back with you with the cast. So enjoy.
I wish I could tell you that I want you here with me, but you'll never love me like the way we used to be. Too far from Saturn, lost in the patterns. Where's the stars align so we could be free? Palms are sweaty, knees unsteady. I can't see my head on straight. Heart is heavy, wasn't ready. Don't think I can see your face. Now we're just friends. How long till that ends? It feels like forever away. It
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back and in the game, ready to go. Hope you enjoyed the video that we had there. There will be more videos to come, so you won't just be seeing the same one on repeat going forward. But I've been a bit unwell, so we are just stuck with that one. So any observations that you still want to add, Ghosty, going into this game?
I mean, we're looking at a standard 5-point start from all of the from both teams involved. You know, we see a little bit of a dance battle in the mid lane. Yeah, we see Skimpanza here bullying Wizard. Yeah, this is not acceptable. We do not like this. We do not like level 1 fighting. Oh wow, and they're all going on to Luna as well.
Viscosity is getting those mana flow stacks down early. He's picking them stacks up. If we don't see a float in all chat, that man needs to be banned.
Yeah. Luna.
There was at least one, maybe two flows right there.
Yeah, there's also a ward in that brush, so everyone's going to know where Stevo starts. But I guess both junglers really want to start in this top side. You know, leave the top laners in a wet noodle fight. But the big problem is Luna had to start E there, so that means she's not going to have the quick level 1 clear and poke with the Q that she would normally get with this Mel. But it's still okay, you know. It's not the worst, but yeah, a little bit detrimental. But once you get to that level 2, she can really start to bully this Victor and come level 3. Well, Victor won't be able to farm anymore.
Yeah, not too much of a detriment. Oh, the level 2 hit first for the bot side. Craft hits the hook, but there's not much of a trade. It's a nice headbutt from Bo into the wall. Just trades a lot of damage down onto the Alistar though, so they did take that advantage very well. Obviously it is an Alistar, so he does have heals in his passive. He's going to have popped a potion already. Good early trade, forcing some resources out of this Alistar though.
Yeah, you also have the Senna for the healing, but I think it's really good there to at least try and poke out the Alistar. You know, while he does have healing, that healing is not really great, as we're already seeing there Luna denying that Victor laser and already building a little bit of a CS lead for herself. You know, it is a couple of minions, but those couple of minions will turn into a lot more minions if she can deny the Victor stacking properly there.
So both junglers clearing towards bot's side. Twilight are pushed in here, so there is a potential for a Jax gank, and if these two junglers meet, it doesn't look like Mayhem are going to be able to respond to help Harold take this crab. And look at this. The bot lane are moving up. They're going to help Stevo secure the crab for Twilight. If Harold doesn't know and tries to contest this, there may be a problem, but it does look like he may be sniffing it out. Yeah, it's going to pop.
That's also... Yeah, that was also a very slow clear from Harold. You know, 345. He was out of the Krugs by 345, whereas Stevo was done at 330 and already looking towards the river. So just tempo advantage from. Oh, that's a nice hook there onto Josh. Bo already going in to save this, to save his Senna by pushing away the Lucian, and we see some trading in top lane, but these two beefcakes are bound to trade into each other. They both want to proc this their grasp as soon as possible.
Yeah, I feel like if you're not a top laner and you don't watch a lot of lower level top lane gameplay, you don't understand the amount of fighting that happens in this lane. It's constant, it's all the time, you don't get any rest. My fingers and brain are always hurt after every game, and honestly I hate it. I hate it so much. I just want to chill and farm.
Old man Cliff out here, crying a little bit about top lane, but it is the nature of the matchup. As we do see, Harold has recalled, has come back onto the map with a double longsword and a dagger buy. So that tells me he's going potentially towards the Blade of the Ruined King. However, I think with that gold, I would have preferred to see a pickaxe, because well, Jax does like attack speed. He also has attack speed in the passive, and Pickaxe gives more AD than 2 longswords, but
Yeah, he's got an auto attack reset as well, so Pickaxe probably would have been. Well, Pickaxe obviously would have been a lot more damage early. But
yeah, well,
you noticed here as well, Stevo, based with a lot more gold, is even on camps with Harold, is going to clear this Gromp and have a big advantage in my head here.
yeah, it's going to be a 1 camp advantage, but it's that's a nice engage.
Good flash from Ket. The engage comes in very nice. Ket gets rooted up here. The Q comes down as well. He's getting slow, but here comes Stevo in the background. Harold is getting very low. The exhaust goes down. Bo gets snip, first blow over to Stevo, and now they're being chased. Good hook comes out of Craft. Harold falls down to the Nautilus as well, and now it's Josh versus the world. Snip comes out. Ket picks up the kill, and Beats of War secured in 1 fight on the bot side, and it looks like Twilight are going to transition this into the Dragon.
I mean, yeah, that is looking very good for Twilight. You know, every single person that was involved in that fight from Twilight all got at least one kill. You know, you would have preferred one extra kill to go on the Lucian or on the Gwen, but still, even Kraft getting a kill there is still good enough because he's going to get to that locket more quickly. He's going to be getting his items, and we know that Senna is a very scaling champion, that she wants to really get towards one item and those souls stacked. So in the early game, Lucian has a lot more power, and we saw right there the early power of the Gwen there. Harold tried to go in for the gank. They invested so much to get onto Ket, but it didn't pan out, and then Stevo just popped the ghost and was able to really counteract that gank very nicely.
Yeah, Stevo shows up to the gank with the full passive stacked as well, so he gets the full rotation of the snip out because he cleared the Gromp before he came down to the gank. So, you know, it turned really fast. It did look pretty decent to begin with. I mean, Harold's flash is down now. Both of Josh's summoners are down. Bo didn't get to use his summoners. Maybe he wisely helped them, knew he was dead. But there's a lot expended there on both sides. Twilight come out with a 1k gold lead already and a neutral objective up, so they're in a nice strong state, and it does look like Mayhem are going to try and rotate over and take these grubbies. Hook comes in on the bot side, root down onto Josh. He doesn't have flash. He is toast, cooked up by Ket on the Lucian. Looks like they're trading these grubbies for a kill on the bot side.
I mean, I don't think I've seen Kraft miss a hook this game. That's such stellar gameplay there by Kraft, recognizing that the Alistair has probably based to go help out on these grubbies, and they also had the ward to spot them out as well. So the moment that Kraft saw that, he rotated back towards this bot lane, and Josh is now 2 levels behind Ket, and we're 8 minutes into the game, Cliff.
And Kraft is looking. He's looking for a hooking on this center. I'm not sure if Josh is going to fall for it. We have an ult coming in here just to collect the wave. Nice knockoff. He is under the tower. Skin Panther may be in a bit of trouble. He does have to flash. Is he going to be able to get away here? Wizard flashes over the knockup. Skin Panther has no mana, but I don't know if the Scion has enough damage. The Q comes down, and Skin Panther has to teleport out of this to just get away. Wow, loses both of his summoners there. He's not going to be able to TP back to this wave either.
No, he does not, and that's also a really big advantage here for the Wizard. And Wizard was really, you know, getting pushed under turret by this Cho'Gath, so this is giving him a lot of leniency, a lot of breathing room there, because at one point Skimpanza had like a 15 CS lead, which has now gone back to 6, and I saw there Wizard also managed to get a turret plate in, which means he is going to be getting a little bit of extra gold there. He recalls and gets a null magic mantle because he pushed in the wave. So this wave state is also very nice for him. It's going to get pushed in, and he's coming back to lane with, you know, some extra defenses to help him out. That was a really nice play.
A very nice play from Wizard. He's also keeping his teleport as well, so Twilight have the TP advantage coming into this next dragon, which is going to spawn in 1 minute and 40 seconds. Skimpanzer's not going to be able to answer if Wizard just does decide to TP down. And Stevo is here. The snip comes through. Knock up onto Stevo. Skimpanzer doesn't have flash. It is a nice silence. He's going to be able to survive this. It's a lot of damage coming down. Here's Harold, but Luna is also here too. Skimpanzer looks like he's going to fall. He falls to the Gwen, and now Harold is trapped. Has to flash out. That flash just came back up. Q's over to Viscosity, but now the Victor is in trouble. Luna flashes over and forces the flash out the Victor as well, and I think Victor may be able to get out scot-free here. Nice root does come down to Luna. That's a lot of damage traded down, and it looks like Mel's going to pick up another kill, and it's 7 kills to 0, 10 minutes into the game.
And Stevo has been a part of 6 of those kills outside of the little one. Oh wow, Ket almost got a solo
a lot
kill.
of damage under the tower. He almost solo kills Josh, and another hook lands from Kraft. It was a point blank one, but Ket does manage to pick that kill up.
Stevo making
Josh,
plays on the map.
This may be dangerous. You don't want to back there. Flash forward from Kraft to cancel the back. He's going to knock him up, then land a hook, pass the kill over to Ket, heal to get himself out of the tower range. And it's a 4th plate secured, 4 kills for Ket. This game is out of control on this bot side.
5,000 gold lead 11 minutes in. They're going to get the first brick. They're going to secure these. They're going to secure these feats immediately. And Cliff, oh god.
Nice pickup from Josh there. That was a great snipe.
Well, that means perfect game out of the way. Report Craft. But the thing that I was saying, also Craft went for a tier, and the Dark Seal. The man is cooking here. What I was going to say there is, it's a 5,000 gold lead. We have first brick. We were talking about feats of strength and how important, for example, the Merc Treads are going to be, and you know, Merc Treads and the Lucidity Boots are going to be really, really powerful for this Celestial Twilight squad. And I don't even think they're going for defensive options on the boots simply because of how far ahead they are so early into the game.
Yeah, I mean, those Lucidity upgrades are very strong, right? Supposedly they're the strongest in the game, if I'm correct there. They give you, in terms of gold, the value just seems really good on those ones. The Merc Treads are going to be good for the MR damage, but yeah, it's looking scary already. 2 Drakes down over to the side of Celestial Twilight. 9 kills, 4 of them going onto this Lucian already, who has an Essence Reaver and a BF Sword in pocket, compared to the static Shiv of the Senna, so the damage difference is huge. Look at the farm difference in bot lane as well. Josh is not having a fun game.
No, really not. And this is basically the answer into Senna. Senna loves to farm from afar. And usually what people like to do is pair Senna with a mage or with an enchanter, you know, something that's long range that's going to allow her to farm safely. But this Alistar, while technically is supposed to be a lot of disengage, has really not done that. You know, we've only seen Bo try to go in and engage as Kraft. He's going for another roam here.
Hits on Skimpanzer, the root comes down at the E slow, then the knock-up from the ultimate, and Skimpanzer gets chain CC'd just as his flash comes off of cooldown, seemingly perfectly timed from the side of Twilight.
Adds another tick in the Hook's Craft hit department.
There's one more coming. Kraft may be in trouble here. He doesn't respect it. He's going to get headbutt pulverized. He's kind of trapped. Hits the hook onto the wall, but the stun does come down. The Lockheed Shield comes out. Does it save him? Oh my god, it does save him. Kraft picks up the Jax in the background as Ket picks up the Jax in the background as Kraft also goes down to the center ult again. Stevo is here to chase this one down, and there's no suns, no spells, no damage. Viscosity forced to Luna. Skimpanzer TPs into the middle of this. He just had to flash immediately after arrival, and he falls down to Stevo as well. The chaos in this game is absolutely electric. Flash forward by Bo. Doesn't get anything, gets a root, hands the double kill over to Stevo. Oh, this is unfortunate.
Well, basically what I saw there was chaos. Kraft lived, and then Senna ult came in, and then he didn't live. Ket flashes in for a kill, but then he gets killed himself. and then Luna and Steve-O just clean up the fight as Wizard kills the victor. And after all that is said and done, the score is 3-14. We have a 6 point. Well, it's not. It's a 6,000 gold lead, but we basically have a lot of item advantages, a lot of gold lead for Twilight, and for Twilight's side we have items completed. You know, one plus something items completed.
You are in trouble because here comes the hook machine. The ult comes out from Nautilus. There's the root as well, and the chain CC is good. They hand the kill over to Wizard to help secure his lead in the top side. This game is not looking playable for the side of Mayhem right now.
No, it really isn't. As we see here, Ket is basically, you know, 1v2ing these people right here in the bot lane. As the first hook missed, but
flash forward to get the root. The Alistar ult is popped. Is it going to be enough to save him? It looks like it might. Ket decides to auto the tower twice and take 2 tower shots for it. The Alistar ult coming in absolutely clutch there.
Man, the Alistar ult saving them, but oh, this is not where you want to be, Harold.
Hook comes in, Harold is going to get hooked by Craft, and then he's going to get hit by the Scion ult, and that's, whoa, the chunk on the Heartsteel is huge onto Harold. Twilight looking to press their advantage here. Skimpanzer again, caught out, is going to go down eventually to Twilight. Another kill picked up for Steve-O. He's now 5-0. And this game, it's 7,000 gold already, 17 minutes into the game. Third Drake's coming up in 40 seconds, and Twilight probably need to get some resets off and spend all this gold they've just got in the last 2 minutes.
I mean, really, they have like 1,400 gold on Ket, who's probably very close to Infinity Edge. And you also have, well, Luna is cooking with this build, Pat, because we see Storm Surge first item for this smell, as Steve-O with the Gwen now has a Magi Soul Stealer. He has a he has a Needlessly Large Rod and the Lich Bane, and this Gwen, these snips are gonna hit hard.
They are going to hit hard. They use the Herald to secure the mid-tier 1, and they're going to just transition right over into this Drake pit. Pick up the Soul Point now. It's going to be Hextech Soul Point over to Celestial Twilight. And I don't know how Mayhem get back into this game. I don't know what you do. I think what they needed to do was about 8 minutes ago is try and slow this game down. Oh, another hook comes out, but this one goes just wide. Nice sidestep from Josh there. But yeah, they needed to slow this game down about 8 minutes ago, and they just kept jumping into all of these fights.
Yeah, it really had to be like, once Harold realized that this bot lane was not going to be advantageous, he probably should have gone towards this top lane, tried to bully out the Wizard a lot more, because this Scion, while 20 CS down, is 205, is stacking this Heartsteel as Bo gets caught.
Bo does get caught here. It doesn't look like there's much chance for escape. The Alistar ult comes out though. That's going to buy him a lot of time. Maybe enough time, because it doesn't look like Twilight are going to be able to not chase him down. There was a good knock-up that came in from Skimpanzer as well to help save him there. Just barely gets out of his life, but they can't step into their own jungle. This is Steve-O's territory now. Steve-O's around every corner. Craft is there with him almost all of the time, and if you go too far into these lanes, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, I mean, oh, that's going to do him like a nice
escape, but he's going to get insta-ulted by the Nautilus, eat half of the Lucian ult at the same time, and instantly go down just off of his face. Panzer again kind of caught out, but he is a big beefy boy, so it's going to take a lot to kill him.
I mean, he is a big beefy boy, but this Gwen is also, you know, I sort of imagine it, Cliff, like, the more items Gwen completes, the bigger her scissors get. So, you know, Steve-O currently has some decently sized scissors but they feel very large for the side of Frostbite, because Steve-O is very much ahead. So he is, you know, very much ahead of the curve, and we were talking about the Gwen being the potential to cut down this Cho'Gath, and we already saw one snip, and that was a quarter of Skimpanzer's health gone.
Yeah, it is a big chunk. There is a 700 gold bounty though. Oh, it's kept finds the scarcity in the jungle here. It's a lot of damage traded out by the victor, but Lucian is just so far ahead that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Ket doesn't get double lifted there because this Victor is so behind, but
They'd have
yeah,
to use
gets
the
another
exhaust for it.
Yeah, but you know, that's still a summoner spell. You always like to use the summoner spell for a kill. As the wizard getting caught here.
Nice flash forward. Oh, another flash by Skimpanzer to block the Scion. Oh, good knockup as well. This looks like the first time Mayhem managed to find a member of Twilight on their own. He's buying a lot of time as the wizard here. Not going to be able to trade anything back, but Mayhem do manage to finally find somebody without three of his teammates sat behind him. It's a nice pick onto Wizard. He did have a shutdown as well, so it's some gold pulled back, but Bo's kind of caught here, and there's a big siege happening on this bot side.
Yeah, I mean, Wizard died, but so the two turrets.
He has the red buff. Bo, you are not going to be able to run from this. He's going to flash. I think he should have saved the flash personally. And there he goes down to Cat.
Yeah, I mean, Wizard dies, but so do two turrets on the bot side for Frostbite there. And then Ket finds the Alistar, as he might be caught out himself.
Here comes Harold. He's going to eat a lot of damage from this Lucian. Almost fully killed him. Oh, it's a big shutdown over to the Jax. Kraft is here, misses the hook, and Kraft may be in danger as well. Hill has to get used by Josh just to make sure Harold doesn't die there. Yeah, there's a couple of shutdowns picked up, and this is the problem with the new bounty system. Just one or two of those shutdowns and the game really does start to turn.
Ooh, that's a narrowly missed there by Kraft, but yeah, I mean, a couple of shutdowns, but it's still an 8.5k deficit, and Twilight are still managing to use their advantage very nicely on the map because they you know, while they do have people going down and giving out shutdowns, they are still pushing out waves. They're still getting a lot of vision. You know, we have CS leads across the board for Twilight, barring that Scion, but Scion really, you know, doesn't care too much about you know, that farm disadvantage as long as he gets to farm his waves. He doesn't care if he's 15-20 CS behind the Cho'Gath because he can still farm his waves and still get Heartsteel procs as Harold gets hooked again.
Hook comes in by Kraft. Harold does manage to block a lot of damage with the E, but Stevo wants to chase for more. He's going to find Josh, a nice headbutt away from Bo, but Josh is still in a lot of danger here. There's a TP coming in as well, and it's, oh, look at the culling come down from Ket. Bo, you're going to go down. Oh, it's a good route. Flash forward hook by Kraft. Harold tries to jump in, but Wizard arrives at the exact same time. There's a lot of knockouts happening here, but there's just such a gold difference on the side of Twilight. There's nothing they can do. It looks like Ket is going to fall down to Josh while Skimpanzer is getting dove. And in the end, it's a 3-for-2. Oh, Luna makes that a 4-for-2. The trade was going well on the side considering the gold, but Luna evens that one up, and it looks like the soul is ready for the taking.
Yeah, that fight started out with Harold getting hooked there and having to, you know, jump out, and I think by the end there, Ket went in a little bit too far because then he got outranged by the Victor and the Senna, and he basically got mowed down because he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. But then Stevo and Luna managed to turn that fighter out, help out their team, secured the soul, and while Twilight did give up a couple of shutdowns, we're now back at 10,000 gold for 10,000 gold lead for the side of Twilight, and Cliff. I feel like once the Baron comes on, it's just going to be the victory lap for Twilight.
Yeah, it seems very unplayable for Mayhem. Well, it's felt unplayable for a long time. They have managed to pick up some gold in this situation, but they do look like they may be in a bit of trouble here as they don't see Kraft and Wizard coming around. It's a hook that comes down to Skimpanzer, but the wall does kind of get in the way. Good Blastco usage to buy himself some space and knock away the Gwen. Bo has to commit, he thinks, and he's going to trade his life to try and get the rest of his team out, but Josh and Skimpanzer run back in. The snip insta-kills the center, and Cho'Gath goes down to follow. This looks like it's going to be transitioned straight into the spawning Baron in 3 seconds.
I mean, Harold is still alive, but I don't think he can do much there as Harold, as We are basically cosplaying T1 as Twilight here, starting Baron on spawn, as Kraft is able to dissuade this Victor and this Jax on his own. He is so fed. He almost has his Winter's approach fully stacked. Kraft, playing like an absolute chat here, has Twilight secured the. Yeah, Twilight secured the Baron. They're going for Otacon. Kraft is farming mid lane. He's basically saying, "Look at me, I'm the carry now." And I mean, Cliff, I think it's just a matter of time before this game ends.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this game's wrapped up in the next 5 minutes, personally. Cannot see any avenue where Mayhem get back into this game. Even if they manage to grab both of those 700 gold shutdowns, the one on Stevo and the one on Luna, it's still, what? It would still be 10,000 gold they'd be down after killing both of them, so very difficult to play. The wallet diff is huge, and this mid-tier 2 does not look like it's going to last for very long.
No, really, that really doesn't. Kraft might be getting caught
here, though. There's a lot of instant damage coming down, and Harold is immediately traded back. Bo's going to fall too, so is Kraft. Bo manages to flash out lots of damage from the culling coming down onto Skin Panzer. And Kraft being a bit too liberal with it there. Maybe trying to overforce that tower a bit too much. Not expecting the flank, and he does fall.
Yeah, it's a trade of support for jungler, but it's still Twilight there pushing the waves and pushing in a lot of their advantage. They're still taking a lot of turrets here, and while Mayhem do have this Victor for the wave clear and the Senna, it's still not enough, because if this Celestial Twilight squad decides they're going to go in on you and kill you, you're not going to be able to survive. The only reason they were able to kill Crafter is because his Winter's approach is not finished, and it was basically a 5v1 until the rest of Twilight arrived, when Kraft was like 30% HP, so I don't think that's going to be happening again, especially not since now the Winter's approach is, 20 stacks from being done.
Yeah, once that Winter's approach is finished, this Nautilus is going to be even more difficult to kill. A lot of damage came down, and I know that Kraft got caught early in that fight, but the damage coming out of this Mel is kind of crazy right now. The Mel and the Lucian damage is kind of nuts, and then you have the Gwen thrown in on top of it. Twilight going to try and siege down this tower. There comes the Demolish proc. Look at how much Wizard just tanks this up. Hook comes down as well onto Bo. Bo is insta-deleted. Can't manage to pick that one up with the culling. Here comes the ult from the Scion. Double knock-up, followed up by a double knock-up. And this is going to be the game here. Nothing that Mayhem can do. Twilight closing this one out relatively clean. But just as the Baron dies, they manage to get the kill. They're going to pick up these towers, and they're going to end the game for a dominant 1-0.
25 stacks on that Magi. Deathless game from both Stevo and Luna. A really, really nice early game played by Celestial Twilight. It only took that one counter gank in the bot lane, and then the game snowballed into their control. The 2v2 was winning. They were already making some good trades from the early game as they hit the level 2, so we already saw how that was going to go. But I mean, I have to give huge props to Stevo for basically tracking Harold along on the map and being there for basically everything that this Jax wanted to do. And once Stevo was there for the counter ganks, there was virtually nothing that Frostbite could do there at any given point in the game. And also I have to give props to Ket there for an amazing Lucian gameplay, getting that solo kill, working really well with Kraft with this Lucian Nautilus.
Very good performance all around by Celestial Twilight. Couple of needless deaths, you could say, but when your biggest complaint in the game that you have is that your Nautilus died 4 times, you are probably very happy with the way that the game went. Didn't drop a single neutral. Actually, they dropped the grubbies early, but that was about the only thing that they ended up losing from the entire game. We're going to go to a quick break here. We'll be right back with Game 2. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back for Game Two's draft. My lovely co-host is still off getting a drink right now, I believe, so you're just going to have me for a little while. Celestial Twilight bands coming out as Aurora, Akali, and Zinzao, and then the Lilia and the Nico. Both, I believe, were banned in the first game. Actually, I think all of these bands are the same from the first game, so we're keeping our bans. We feel like the bans weren't the problem last game. And we're just going to try and find another way to adjust. Frostbite Mayhem on the red side, Celestial Twilight on the blue side. And it looks like we're going to get the Karma Flex pick, patented Celestial Twilight Game 2 Karma first pick. It is a flex, ladies and gentlemen, can be played by 3 of the players over on the side of Celestial Twilight. More than likely going to go down to the top lane with Wizard. The answer is going to be the Wukong and the Rel for Mayhem. Don't like picking the Rel this early. It's quite a counterable matchup, in my opinion. Rel has a lot of things that she doesn't like to play into. There's the big key one, obviously, being the Braum. Kraft has played the Braum this split, so maybe it is something that we could see him pick up with this Karma being the triple flex. So it's going to be the Poppy. Poppy is the other big counter to the Rel. Now, pretty much both of Rel's W's are countered by the Poppy W's. So if Kraft can time those right, it's going to be very difficult for Bo to play these games on that Rel. But Rel, Wukong, Misfortune, that is a nice tasty combo for Frostbite Mayhem. We love press R comps, and that is definitely a press R teamfight comp. If Frostbite Mayhem can get to the teamfight stage at an even footing here, it's going to be a hard one for Celestial Twilight to play. I mean, Karma, Volibear, Poppy don't generate as much of a threat in a team fight as Wukong, Rel, and Misfortune. Again, not necessarily difficult ones to play, but the Misfortune does really depend on how that ultimate comes down. Going to go into the second phase bans. The Braum is banned over on the side of Mayhem. Bit of an odd one. I guess they're assuming that the Poppy's not going top, or they just want to play it safe. And a Nasus for Twilight, and then a Kai'Sa for Frostbite Mayhem. And I do believe my wonderful co-caster is here. Are you back with us, sir?
Yeah, I am back here, Cliff. I was listening to your marvelous monologue, and I was trying to think of when to interject, but yeah, that was a very nice analysis. As the ASOL also gets banned away from Luna, I believe they must have mistook Luna for Ferragosto, but that's a whole different story. As we do see the Orianna getting picked here, and that's probably why they banned the ASOL to be a little bit more, realistic. But
that's a tasty teamfight comp. That is a tasty teamfight comp from Mayhem.
But I still don't see. I still don't see Mel banned here. So technically, it could still be.
We're in Div 2, my man. This is Fearless Draft. Remember. Every single one of the champions picked last game, unable to be played today, so we see in game 2. So we're going to see 10 new champions. The only things that are allowed to stay were the bans, because those champions weren't played.
And we see the Syndra locked in here from Luna.
Oh, it's going to be the Sweatfest mid lane.
I think, and the Xayah lock in. So I think this basically confirms that it's going to be Poppy support, the Wizard taking this Karma top lane, and well, technically they could still do a swap with Karma support, Poppy jungle, Volibear top lane. I think maybe Celestial gave themselves a little bit of a stop break to basically see, okay, what is going to be picked and how can we benefit from it. As we do see the Yorick getting locked in, I know Harold has been talking a little bit about Yorick, and Yorick jungle is getting picked up more and more in solo queue, so this could be a Yorick top lane here, but man, these are two interesting drafts here.
Yeah, the Yorick definitely gives Mayhem some presence on that side lane. I assume the Yorick's going to go to the top. It could go jungle, not a strong jungle anymore. But I'm pretty sure it's going to go top lane.
Yeah, but I think if Wizard takes this karma, then it's going to be really, really, it's going to be really, really, interesting to how it's going to pan out. As I, I mean, Cliff, this could go basically until we see the finished drafts. We won't know what Twilight went for, but this karma could potentially go into the top lane for Wizard, and Wizard could just bully out melee champions, which he did do in the game in the last week's series, and Wizard is known to be a proficient karma top lane player.
He is a proficient Karma top lane player, yes, that is true, but as a Karma player, I don't know if I would want to lane into a Yorick. That does not sound fun. You don't have an escape other than your flash, so if ever Yorick catches you in that baby cage, you are going to die immediately, because you are still a Karma after all. So it does make it a bit rough. We are in the in-game draft now, and it does look like that Karma is going top lane right now. It does, yeah, it looks like it's going to be Karma versus Yorick. I'd be scared.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be very, very interesting here. It is, the Karma getting picked top lane, but if I'm being honest here, Cliff, I think it's not the worst of matchups, but the thing is there, if Karma can use her E defensively and basically try to get out of the Yorick W, it should be very, very beneficial as the Voldabear into the Wukong. So this is an interesting matchup because Wukong generally likes to go into these dueling matchups. However, the big thing is Voldabear has a lot of magic damage there as well, and Wukong works best versus a lot of AD junglers. So I feel with a lot of spread here from Twilight's side in the damage, they have a lot of magic damage. This Wukong might struggle, and I mean, Ket taking Luna's favorite champion into a misfortune is really ballsy here, because I feel like this matchup is really misfortune and Rel favored. However, the Poppy can basically deny what this Rel and Wukong want to do, which are the primary sources of engage here. So if Croft and Wizard are on top of their game, which game one didn't give me a reason to say they're not, this should turn into a quick 2-0 for Twilight.
You can see it, but man, if they get into these team fights even, it's hard to see how Mayhem's comp doesn't at least fight well. I think if Mayhem can get onto these objectives first, it's going to be very difficult for Twilight to funnel in anywhere.
Yeah.
They'd be relying on Poppy ulting out somebody or making sure she hits the correct target, maybe onto the Rel or the Wukong, just to try and prevent the beginning of the fight. I don't know. I honestly, genuinely, I think I'd rather play the Mayhem draft this game.
I think Mayhem's draft is a lot easier to execute. The burden of execution does really fall onto Twilight's end. However, if they are able to execute their combos properly, it should really, really turn in their favor. But we do have to remember it is a lot of burden on Twilight to execute. So it's going to have to be really crisp gameplay from the side of Twilight, and also they really want to scale into the game. This Syndra wants to get her stacks as quickly as possible. This Zaya really wants to get to at least 2 items to become a decent champion. But the problem is there that Misfortune, Wukong, Orianna, they can all snowball at level 6, and it's really going to be difficult to try and basically delay onto 2 items.
definitely is. What we're going to do now is we're going to just drop over to a quick video, and we will be back with the start of the game.
I wish I could tell you that I want you here with me, but you'll never love me like the way we used to be. Too far from Saturn, lost in the patterns. Where's the stars align so we could be free? Palms are sweaty, knees unsteady. I can't see my head on straight. Heart is heavy, wasn't ready. Don't think I can see your face. Now we're just friends. How long till that ends? It feels like forever away.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and we are in game number 2 between Celestial Twilight and Frostbite Mayhem.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
That we are. Cliff, just to make sure you're 33, 34, 35.
I'm a couple of seconds ahead of you, so just pause for 2 seconds and then press play.
Okay.
For you, what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Now we're good.
Nice and synced up, awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, there looks like a trading going into Luna. There's going to be some stacks harvested there. Stevo's going to find Liscacity. Liscacity has to blow Flash before the minions have spawned. Not a good start to the game for the Orianna, considering the matchup, and a nice wall drop down on the Raptors. Stevo's going to go for the cancel as well. Oh, Liscacity's in a lot of trouble. Now has to make the choice to stay or burn the teleport. Does decide to stay and pop a pot. Not a good start to the game for the Orianna.
I think he had to blow the teleport there. I think Luna did the appropriate decision with what happened in game number 1, and now this Orianna with what she did here, that's half HP with no flash. That is basically begging for Stevo to come gank here.
Yeah, and it's already such a sweat fest of a matchup, Syndra versus Orianna. I mean, it's pretty skill-based, and if you're starting the lane at half health with no flash, as the Orianna in that matchup, it is not a fun time for you.
Yeah, really. And we do see the Aerie here from Wizard. I think I said this last time, Cliff, but I really wish we would have seen the grasp, as there's an engage on
double
bot side.
knock up on the bot side. The ignite blown down onto Ket. Ket has to blow his ghost, and there's a lot of damage traded back by both. Kraft tried to get the stun against the wall. When he was unable to do it, the turn back was really big.
So Ignite for Ghost, a fairly equal trade. However, the big thing is heal is still up here for Kraft, and Kraft and Ket can really do a lot of damage there, and they do still have a lot of combat power with that heal. As Wizard, yeah, we see him getting stuck in that heroic W, but Skimpanza still took the worst of that trade. Only now the ghouls are doing a little bit more damage, but yeah, I mean, the only big thing that Wizard has gotten himself into, you know, the only big problem is he's really not farming that well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't seem like a fun matchup to play. The Yorick feels like it's a really good pick. Liscacity may be in some trouble. Lots of damage traded down. Luna's going to chase Liscacity out of lane. And now the Orianna is going to take the base on what I would assume is a tier.
Yeah, probably it's going to be a tier. You really like... Ooh, that's a nice ward there to spot out Kraft. And Josh getting some good damage out, but... Look who's here! That's
comes
Stevo.
Down from Ket. Stevo is coming for the gank, but it was a nice slow that came down from Josh on the MF. It does look like Harold is kind of caught a bit on the grub, but he does manage to get the grub. Not the grub. What are they called? The crab? What's the actual name of them? I've always referred to them as the
river
crabs.
scuttler.
It's the scuttle crab, right?
Yeah.
That's the one. Lots of trading happening on this bot side. Root comes down onto Bo, but there's not a lot of follow-up that's going to be able to come down because it is a Poppy, so the engage is full committal on that champion.
Yeah, but Wizard bullying out here Skimpanza, and look at this. Skimpanza is trying to farm under turret. If Wizard had farmed this lane a little bit better, he probably would have had about a 10 CS lead, but still. That's a really nice poke out there, and Skimpanza is basically going to get forced out to back. But I'm going to say, Cliff, I think Skimpanza really screwed it up in the runes department, because the grasp here is really not doing much as Kraft is rotating mid lane.
Oh, good stun coming out from Luna. Kraft's going to try and get the stun against the wall, but it's first blood secured by Liscacity because of the damage just comes out so quickly from this Orianna, and now Kraft may be in trouble as well. He does manage to pick up the Orianna. The heal's probably going to get him out now as well. So it is a trade 1-for-1, but 1 kill going over to Orianna, 1 kill going over to Poppy.
Yeah, Luna being very conservative with her flash there, saving it for next game or something. Yeah, not really helping out. If Luna had flashed there a little bit earlier, she probably would have had the assist on that kill, regardless of whether Liscacity was chasing after her or not. And yeah, it does mean that Liscacity gets to come back with a full lost chapter, whereas Luna has to settle for the Fated Ashes.
Yeah, and Liscacity's flash is about to come up as well, so the flash advantage that they did have in this mid lane matchup is about to be wiped away as the flash comes back up now. So the Orianna is going to be safe, it is going to be up in gold, and the solo lanes here are farming very well for Frostbite Mayhem.
Yeah, they are. Skimpanza used his TP, whereas Wizard still hasn't backed here. But level 6 now has come in for this Yorick. The Warden. Sorry, the Maiden. The Maiden has come in. And the ghouls are starting to deal some damage to the turret now, and Skimpanza with that demolish gets a turret plate in, so that's really advantageous.
Comes down to Liscacity, and Stevo's here, flash blown immediately by Liscacity, probably the wise choice, flashing towards the rest of their team that is currently starting up the first dragon of the game.
Yeah, there's a pink ward that spots out that ward from Twilight, and they really can't do anything there because this bot lane got pushed in from Twilight. Luna is basically a level down unless she hits level 7 here, but still that's an EXP advantage for that Orianna. And yeah, I think Cliff, the better of this early game has gone onto this Frostbite squad. However, we did say that it should be going that way simply because of the nature of the champions that they're playing, but it's going to be
the
worrisome.
Orianna ult comes out onto Luna. Luna does manage to get the pushback, but look at the damage that's come down. This matchup is not looking like it's fun for the Syndra of Luna here to play, and there's lots of heavy trades coming down onto her.
No, it's really not a fun matchup, as the Maiden here getting bullied by Wizard. So I'm guessing Wizard is trying a different approach to get rid of the Maiden first, and then go on to this Yorick. As Wizard has a lost chapter now, Skimpanza has opted for the Merc Treads, but you know, the Merc Treads basically denying everything the Lost Chapter wants to do, and Wizard is getting caught here. This is dangerous.
Here comes the baby cage. He had to flash the cage, and Yorick and the big spooky bitch chase Wizard back to his tower.
Is that what we call her, the big spooky bitch?
That's what I call her, the big spooky bitch.
I mean, fair point. She is really a female dog, but yeah. Oh, that's a nice snipe onto the Maiden, and well, we see two grubbies have went over to Twilight there, so that's advantage. That's advantage for Twilight. You know, gets them one step closer towards the feeds there. Basically, everything is equal on the feeds department. CS is really equal in a lot of places. You know, Liz Cassidy is getting a little bit of an advantage over the Syndra, but it's the early game still. After the first item breakpoint, I believe Luna should start farming a little bit more easily. But Liz Cassidy already has the Luden's Luden's companion already completed here, so that's advantage for this Orianna.
Yeah, full item completed for the Orianna. Definitely makes her individually the strongest champion in the game right now, and it's going to be able to give Frostbite a lot of pressure coming from their mid side. Luna's not going to be able to answer the push, full item to none. And the Orianna's going to be able to get all of the roams and rotations off that she needs towards these neutral objectives unless the gap can get closed.
I mean, it should be Luna. Luna probably has like 700, 800 gold in the bank. Let me check very quickly. Yeah, 700 gold. So Luna, yeah,
big trades going down onto this Yorick. He's getting absolutely chunked. Maiden is almost back up, so the lane state does change once she has been revived. But right now, a lot of punishment coming down onto the Yorick.
Yeah, Wizard definitely using the time that the Maiden is down effectively, as we do see Kraft trying to get some poke out on both there, as Luna. Oh, that's a nice
Cassidy. The Q's going to follow as well. Stevo and Harold arrive at the same time. There's both ults out from the side of Mayhem. This Cassidy may fall, but it looks like Luna will as well. This Cassidy goes down, but Luna survives. Flash is blown by everybody. Stevo picks up a double kill in that fight. Luna did so well to survive, and advantage back over into the court of Twilight.
Yeah, I mean, that gank turned into a counter gank to the counter gank, and yeah, Harold went way to win there. As I get a voice crack mid sentence. You know, I'm not a teenager anymore. Yeah, Harold getting way too aggressive there on their turret, which means Luna used the ultimate and was able to dissuade Harold. Luna still gets both of these assists after a very nice Dark Sphere into Scatter the weak stun. And Stevo is once again ahead of the
lane into both the ults. Nice cancel from Kraft as well to stop the MF ult, but Kraft is probably going to end up trading live for this. does manage to get under the tower. What a nice cancel. It was such a good engage. Stevo's here on the bot side as well. Bo's going to get absolutely shredded down. Has to blow the flash just to escape there. It was a nice start to the fight by the side of Mayhem, and a great knockback from Kraft to cancel what would have been a double kill.
Yeah, and we see right here, Cliff, what Wizard really did nicely there. He waited for Skimpanzer to start casting the W, and then Wizard used that E shield movement speed to get out of danger. But
Wizard may be in trouble here, trapped in the baby cage. A lot of damage traded back. Over half of his health by being trapped in it a singular time. That lane looks very difficult to play.
And the maiden damage does heal Yorick there as well, so that means that all of that...
setting the trap. Bo comes in with the ball on top of him, stun down onto Ket. He's going to be knocked into the wall to cancel it. The ult is going to shut down Stevo. And there's a lot of gold traded over to the side of Mayhem. They are going to secure this dragon, their second of the game, and it's such an even game already, 13 minutes in, such a juxtaposition to the last one we just watched.
Yeah, it really is. That was a nice counter to what Twilight wanted to do. You know, Ket a little bit caught with his pants down. You know, tried to go for the wave, thought they had control, but it really wasn't the case here. As Kraft with a nice bush here waiting.
It's a very difficult one to play. Ket's taking a lot of damage from this MF. This part of the game, Bloodthirster on the MF, 2 Drakes down on her side. Very difficult desire to play into this.
But the big thing is, Cliff, the gold is even. And Twilight really liked those odds. You know, Luna has come back from that gold deficit. Ket really needs to stop taking these Qs there because, Ket is almost dead.
Blow the ult. The MF ult comes through as well, and Kraft may have to trade his life for Ket's mistake. He is going to manage to ult out the MF, and now Rel's in a lot of trouble. Flash forward by Ket. He's going to try and get the kill, and they are going to pick it up. It is going to go over to Kraft. Kraft's second kill of the game. Is Josh going to be able to flash forward? Double up does secure the kill onto Ket. And a nice trade for the side of Mayhem. Wizard now may also be in trouble. There's the ult knock up from Harold on the Wukong. Flashes forward and does pick up a kill for himself. First one of this game. And this game is very close. Very different to the first game that we had. Frostbite Mayhem are managing to find everything they're looking for now.
Cliff, that was a mistake by the Wizard because he had ult for that whole sequence of events, and he didn't press Alt W onto either Wukong or this.
Oh, Luna's gone very far forward. Bo does miss the rail Q though, so nothing particularly traded. Just first tower going down on the top side. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, yeah, that's you know, that is what happened. However, first brick went down to Frostbite. And now they're about to secure their third neutral objective of the game as Josh is getting stuck here.
Josh is going to get picked. It's a nice dive from the side of Twilight, picking him off whilst he was on his way to lane. Another kill picked up for Stevo. 3 kills onto this Volibear, 2 kills onto the Poppy. It'd be nice for the solo laners and the carries to pick something up. But this is a very, very big Volibear right now. And Wizard again trapped by the baby cage from Skimpanzer. This is not going to be a good trade for him. He's probably going to go down here. There comes the Alt W that you were talking about. Trade it with the Q. He does keep himself alive for a little bit longer. But this Yorick is becoming a problem for the Karma.
Yeah, but I mean, look at... Wizard started off that empowered W with 15% HP left, and he left that trade with half his HP and plus some damage onto this Yorick. So you technically can see what this Karma wants to do here in this matchup. But the big problem is the feats of warfare. Sorry, the feats have been secured by the side of Frostbite Mayhem. Josh has been caught out here by Stevo and Kraft, which allowed in turn for Ket to take this turret in the bot lane. items are basically equal there, and the item and the gold is also fairly equal. So this means that this Zaya is going to scale very nicely, and it's really, it's really not the best early game from the side of Twilight. It's not the early game that they expected, but it's certainly one that they'll be content with after not falling so far behind like Mayhem did in game number 1 with that late game comp that they drafted.
They may be content with it, but we're 30 seconds away from this dragon coming up. It would be the third of the game for the side of Mayhem. They have all of their important ults up, and I really feel like they're going to want to contest this one with everything they have. Wizard's not going to be able to join them because of the push from this Yorick, and this may turn into a 4v5 because Yorick does have TP.
Well, technically the Wizard should also have TP. Mayhem are going to be using this Herald here to try and exert some pressure there.
He's going to get cancelled, then knocked back by the pop. He has to immediately clone. Rel's going to jump in to sacrifice herself. It's a great combo into the MF ult. Luna's kind of caught here, but trades down for Bo. And it's a nice trade, a good dive in the end for Mayhem, but they blew so many of their ults. In fact, they blew all 4 of their major team fight ults to try and secure that tower. When Harold was in the Herald, made a mistake, and almost traded his entire team's goals there. They are going to pick up this dragon. It's going to be soul point down to Mayhem. Very scary for the side of Twilight now.
Yeah, that clone there from Harold being so helpful there. Getting the knockups really nicely. Luna did really well to get a kill there on Bo, where it seemed like she was in an impossible situation. And Soul Point has come in here. It is the Chemtech Soul Point, so it's not the best of souls there, but it's still a soul. Wait, it is Hextech?
It's Hextech.
I thought it was...
Yeah,
it is Hextech.
Look in the pit, it's Hextech.
Yeah, we have the portable. So Hextech Soul, I'm eating my words. I'm being a dum-dum. Hextech Soul is not a soul that you want to fork over, because Frostbite Mayhem did it last game, and well, basically the combat power nearly doubled from the side of Twilight. But still, in this even of a game, I feel like Twilight can really contest for that next dragon, especially if this Zaya and this Syndra can get to 2 items.
They're going to need to do it quite quickly. They should both be almost there. I wonder how much gold they are all sitting on. Ket's sitting on nearly 1,000. Luna's sitting on 600. So they're both close to their second items. Should have them before the next dragon in 3 minutes and 50 seconds time. But Mayhem have just, I don't know, the control they've had on those neutrals, every time a fight has broken out, it seems like Mayhem are getting the better of the fights, and Twilight are just sort of scrapping to keep the game even at this point.
I mean, yeah, it really has become a little bit of a... It really has become a little bit of a, you know, Twilight trying to roll over, as we do see some
nice stun by Kraft, and then the knockup. They're going to try and give this kill over. It is going to go over to Stevo. Stevo's going to pick up his 4th kill of the game, but looks like they may be trading a top lane tier 1 and a kill for Atakan. I'm not sure that's a trade you really want to take, but maybe they just know they can't fight this.
I mean, Ket is trying to push out the mid lane. Luna is going to dodge the shockwave. I feel like because 2 items were completed on the Orianna, a couple of items were there for the side of for the side of Mayhem. Ket is well, Ket is feeling very safe. Yeah, playing with fire, but feeling very safe. As we do see the top lane tier 1 coming in, and after all being said and done, it's still a 1,000 gold lead for the side of Twilight. And now those 2 item completions are starting to come in. You know, you have Luna with 2 items completed. You have 2 items now on Stevo, and you almost have 2 items completed for Ket. I believe Ket needs like 300-400 gold more, so
Oh yeah,
that's like
Ket's on
two.
1,800, so Ket should have it on his next base.
Yeah, so that just means this next Drake fight, it's going to be I feel like it's going to be Twilight favored simply because of the power spike that they get on 2 items.
Yeah, 2 items coming through for the Orianna, 2 items coming through for the Misfortune as well. Bloodthirst or Essence Reaver, that's a very strong Misfortune. We're going to go double Hex Gates here to try and find somebody. They find the Rel in Bo. He's going to be trapped a little bit inside the baby cage, but he's going to manage to W out. Twilight trying to find these picks on the support here, not finding anything in the end.
Yeah, I also wanted to point out something really nice that Kraft did. Kraft used the Yorick W to stun Skimpanza in that top lane play. That's something that you really don't see happening from a lot of Poppy players. So good, good presence of mind there from Kraft to actually do it. As we do see Luna getting bullied by some ghouls. And, well, yeah, that's basically how the Yorick matchup goes.
Kraft may be a bit trapped here. He's going to get knocked up by the ult from the Yorick. We're going to trade back to the top lane where Wizard and Liscacity are also fighting here. Root comes down onto the Orianna. Wizard's taking a big chunk. Liscacity's probably going to clean this one up if Wizard isn't careful. Another ult W comes down, and there's the kill over to Liscacity. This Karma picked up in the side lane. And Frostbite Mayhem could probably just trade this dragon for the tier 2. Bo may be a bit cool. The stun comes out, only hits the volley there. He's going to get a lot of damage traded down. Nice combo with the ultimates. It's going to pick up all of that damage and those kills. Luna's going to manage to run away. Ket does manage to kill the Yorick on the bot side, so we are still at a 3 for 2, but Ket is also going to fall, and it's going to be Hextech Soul going over to the side of Frostbite Mayhem.
Yeah, it is going to be Frostbite Mayhem Soul, unless Luna wants to do something here, but Wizard being dead really puts a wrench in everything that they want to do. This Drake is going to get pulled out. Harold does have Smite, so that means no contest can happen from Luna, and Liscacity is using the Orianna Health Bar to basically try and deny entrance to Luna. So gold is still even. It's 9-9 in kills, but the big problem is we have Soul here for the side of Frostbite Mayhem, and this game number 2, Cliff, has really turned into Frostbite's favor after it looked like it was going to go into Twilight's favor. But the problem was there that a lot of the members on Twilight really got caught out in unfavorable positions and were either forced out to use their summoners early or were straight up killed.
Yeah, I mean, it started off with Kraft getting caught out between Rock and a Hard Place and the jungler and the rest of his team. And then traded out to Bo being kind of caught, and Twilight put so much damage down into this Rel, but just couldn't secure the kill quick enough, not with enough time for the Misfortune to arrive. And now Hextech Soul secured. The game that in my opinion, from draft, felt like it should have been favoured towards Frostbite Mayhem, just with how much easier their draft is to play, and how much more cohesive their draft is. It's really, really in their control. There's not a lot in this gold lead, but again, it feels relatively unplayable for the side of Twilight. What do they do here?
No, it really does feel that they're like a couple of thousand gold behind. But I mean, it's not the end of the road here for Twilight. They're still very equal in gold. They still have a lot of playmaking capability, as
Double
we
stun
see
comes
here.
down onto the Wukong. The Wukong has to blow the ult early. He's going to get the second tick of the ult off, and there's just more members. Great Rel ult into Misfortune ult. He's going to put so much damage down onto Steve, though, and on to Kraft. Both are going to fall. Luna has arrived, doesn't manage to pick Harold up. Going to fall down to Wizard in the end, and Luna over-committing to that kill, walks way too far forward. We are in a 3 versus 3 situation here, as Yorick is just free pushing the bot side. And they're not even going to manage to pick up this Rel in the extended trade. The Orianna ult comes out, and it is huge. Stun comes down. Bit unnecessary from Bo. May end up trading their life. Triple stun from the Syndra, and then a double kill picked up from the Syndra. What a trade by Luna. Luna just won this team fight for her team. There is a tier 2 falling, though.
Yeah, but the tier 2 in mid lane is also going to fall, as this Yorick might try and push, but Kraft is alive. Steve-O is coming back in 5 seconds. This mid lane, bot lane, and the support are down for 30 seconds. I feel like that ult should have been saved by Kraft, because this Baron is now an option for the side of Twilight, and this is the fight that should have happened there at the Drake pit, when they had 2 item power spikes for the side of Twilight there. But you saw what happened there, Cliff. You already have Luna, who is now on 111 stack, so that means the execute damage can also come in from the ultimate. I mean, they could have probably gone for Baron here.
Yeah, they probably could have gone for Baron. Steve-O was dead. They probably could have started it. But they did feel like they had to go and save their inhib. Maybe it was worth trading the bot lane inhib for the Baron. Take that objective off of the map, secure yourself extra minions. But it does leave it so difficult to contest. The Yorick just swaps to the other side and bot lane just free pushes.
Well, they had the portals, and both mid lane and bot lane were dead for 30 seconds. So Steve-O with those portals could have done it.
Scarcity. It's a lot of damage traded down, but the Fed Volibear doesn't even half health the mid laner that it catches.
Well, yeah, it's not a full damage Volibear there. You know, it's you have the Cosmic Drive there with the Frostfire Gauntlet. And it's looking like Spirit Visage is coming in for Steve-O, so a little bit more of a tankier build coming in for the Bullbear, which I don't hate, because this squad from Twilight does lack a little bit of frontliner to tank the damage, and Bullbear is still very useful even with tank items, or tankier items, I should say, because this build does offer still a lot of damage and as well as survivability.
Double up lands onto Ket in the mid lane, chunks a quarter of his HP. Yorick just getting free time to push on this bot side as well. It's very difficult for Wizard to keep this away from the tower.
Yeah, and I feel like it probably should be Luna in this bot lane trying to catch waves, because Wizard with the Moonstone third item now really needs to start playing a little bit more with this Volibear and with this Xayah, who can benefit very nicely from that Moonstone Renewer. So I feel like the lane assignments from Celestial Twilight should be swapped up a little bit to match Frostbite a little bit more efficiently.
Ghost resets have come out by everyone. 30 seconds until this Elder Dragon spawns. Are we going flip it at Elder? Because it does feel like we're going flip it at Elder right now.
We're flipping it at Elder, though. Usually in the LCK and the LPL, this happens at like 45 minutes, not at 30 minutes. So, you know, it's a little bit early. However, I do think Twilight will always have the advantage in a 5v5 brawl, simply because of the Poppy ultimate, or at least to try and deny that Smite fight. As ooh, that's an engage.
Don comes down onto Harold. Bo's going to get a great engage into a great combo. Lots of damage from this Misfortune coming down, and look at the health bars for Twilight before Luna can even arrive. Steve-O's already dead before Luna even gets there, and this is the problem. If they're not in the space first, how do they ever contest it? They just can't. The Rel jumps on you, Misfortune follows up, and now they are trapped between a rock and a hard place. They're all going to start getting picked off, and this game looks like it's about to be wrapped up by Frostbite Mayhem.
Because Cassidy's saving the ultimate there very nicely, but also Luna tried to go forward and tried to play with her health bar. But the big thing is, oh, that Wizard, you knew what you were doing. That was a mistake. The big thing is there, you tried to fight a Rel, a Wukong, and a Misfortune in a tight and enclosed space. They probably should have taken the safer path from the mid lane, because that was the way that they could scout out everything. Steve-O is up, but he can't 1v5 anything. You know, he's just a Volibear, and Elder Drake is also on the side of Mayhem, as they're going to be taking this game number 2 and taking us to game number 3. And Cliff, what is going on?
Yeah, definitely a much more even game than the first, but it did always feel like Frostbite Mayhem had control of this game. It just felt impossible for the Twilight draft to even play into this Mayhem draft. It feels much more cohesive, much more thought out, a lot less seat of the pants drafting. It feels like they came into this game with the idea of let's have a strong four-man and a strong side laner. Let's play with our four. Let's get to these spaces. Let's get to these neutral objectives early, get there first, make Twilight have to come into us, and then pull the trigger the second they go into the chokes.
I mean, yeah, it was a press the ultimates comp, and I mean, Cliff, the only thing the Twilight were supposed to do there is not go into choke points against this squad, and they repeatedly went into choke points against Mayhem. And what Harold and Bo did really well was immediately pull the trigger, and Josh was almost always in position, or he would flash in and ult with the misfortune and get these multi-man bullet times. And we're already seeing it in the damage graph. You know, we have
It's
we have
30,000 damage to that misfortune. Only 2 kills picked up, but misfortune doing the heavy lifting that game.
Yeah, 100%. That brings us to the end of game number 2. We are coming back very quickly to game number 3, so don't go too far. Grab a drink, stretch your legs, but we'll be back very shortly for this epic conclusion of the Celestial Twilight versus Frostbite Mayhem series.
We got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong, and I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see
like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed upon the web. I need to kick the habit that my mind is breathing in. Break out, I've got to see. Spent all my life holding all of it closely. I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
I've been watching you. Just come to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back and into draft. Already a couple of bands coming out that we've missed. My name is Cliff. I'm joined by the lovely Deadly Ghost. Going into game 3, what do you expect to see here?
I'm seeing a lot of the same bands from game number 1 and, game number 2 as well. I want to see some more action from Twilight. I feel like they drafted a comp that really relied on them surviving a lot of the engage and then turning back on it or either catching out someone, but we really didn't see a lot of that happening. It was mostly Rel and Wukong catching them out for the misfortune to just bullet time them all the way to the depths of hell. As we do see the Ezreal being locked in, from the AD carries that are left in the pool, Ezreal is really the only one that we can see left up for Josh that he's really comfortable on. As we do see the Sivir answer here, which is a good decision by Ket. I will say I maybe would have preferred to see a Kaisa, but if Ket is more comfortable on the Sivir, I'm fine with that. Sivir also being very strong this patch.
Yeah, nice little buff to the Ricochet this patch for Sivir. And Sivir Seraphine is a very decent lane, but this Seraphine could also go mid lane into the hands of Luna. I've seen Luna on that champion many a time myself. So you never know. This is another strength of Celestial Twilight. All of these potential flex picks that they do have, but again, Sivir Seraphine is a very strong lane. They have a lot of ways to push you out and keep you under tower. So you're going to need some help from your support, or you're just going to have to sit back and accept it as the Nocturne is locked in for Harold.
Yeah, we do see the Nocturne there, and well, Nocturne has been coming back into the meta a little bit. I feel like
It's Spear Shot's new one trick, right?
I mean,
Spear Shot said he was going to hit Challenger off of Pantheon, and now he's just one tricking Nocturne. So
yeah, I mean, it's really powerful in the way that that's an ASOL lock-in as well. The power of the Nocturne really comes from that ultimate, as we do see the Ornn being locked in here. And the Alawi instant ban. So I'm guessing they're going to be banning some bad matchups for the Ornn here, but that was an insta Ornn lock-in. Holy.
yeah, the Ornn lock-in from Wizard, one of Wizard's most played champions, the Ornn. So going to be very confident on that. Like you said, they're probably going to want to ban out some of the worst matchups, or at least the worst matchups that he knows Skim Panzer plays. So off goes the Alawi. The Gwen is already out due to the Fearless rules because Twilight played it in game one, so he doesn't have to worry about that. As Frostbite Mayhem ban the Maokai, and we see the Braum ban coming out from Celestial Twilight.
I feel like we have with the Diana getting banned out, something that can really counteract what the Nocturne wants to do with that massive teamfight ultimate. But ooh, the Mundo! Oh
Mundo
my
Jungle.
god, Cliff!
Yes, Ghost.
Is it the Orngull?
It's not gonna be the Orngull. It's if Steve-O plays Orngull today, if this is Orngull, I'm turning the stream off. I'm turning the stream off. There's no way. There's no way this isn't Mundo Jungle. Surely this has to be Mundo Jungle.
I mean, you know, it would be a massive cook from the side of Steve-O, as we do see the Urgot getting locked in here. I think Ornn is fine into this Urgot. You know, let's go with the presumption of Ornn on top lane. So Ornn is really fine into this Urgot. He is going to get bullied in the early levels up until level 3, level 4, but after the first item comes in, it's really, really good. And Nami getting locked in here, you know, the Karma getting taken out in game number 2. So Ezreal Karma, the big powerful poke bot lane, is getting taken out, but
You have to confirm
I
this
think
flex now for Twilight as well.
Yeah, I mean, this Seraphine could still go support unless unless Luna really wants to go for the Seraphine, which she does, as we do see the Blitzcrank getting picked here. And I like Blitzcrank because you have Nami, you have Ezreal that can still buffer it, but you have the prime target in the A-Sol, because Aurelion Sol, the thing he wants to do most is stand still while he's using the Breath of Light to gain stacks, and Blitzcrank almost denies everything that A-Sol wants to do. Even with the ultimate, you can simply deny the stacking. So this is a very smart pick, especially for countering the A-Sol and the Nami. And in this early game, if Bo is not careful enough, it could be very deadly. You know, the only really big thing that could happen here is it's not the most synergistic with the Sivir, but I feel like it's a smart pickup from Kraft.
Yeah, it is a smart pickup from Kraft, and we saw during game 1 that Kraft is a proven hooker. He loves hooking, always out and about hooking. So he had a lot of success on the Nautilus in game 1. You'd like to imagine he's probably going to have a lot of success on this Blitzcrank. And now it is a different kind of hook, a lot more unforgiving of a hook. I'm glad you liked the joke, Coaster. Yeah, it's a lot more of an unforgiving hook, but you're right. The Aurelion Soul has to stand still for most of the time to use that Silver Breath. So it's very dangerous. I can be saying that. It's my stream, Coaster. I'm allowed to say. I'm allowed to call Kraft a hooker. Kraft knows what he is. He picked Nautilus and Blitzcrank this series.
It's really going to be on Kraft to prove that he is a master master hooker. Twilight definitely want to prove they are master chefs with this draft they've cooked up, but we'll see if that's going to translate really, really well into the game. But I feel like come level 6 for a lot of these champions, the ultimates are so strong. You know, you have the Ornn, you have the Seraphine, you have the Sivir speed up, you even have this Mundo who can be the biggest beefcake ever. And you know, it is a little bit of a put all of your eggs in the cat basket, but if this Sivir can get ahead in the early game, or even, you know, get to a couple of items or go even and scale up, it's going to be really difficult. Really difficult for Frostbite to even try and do anything, because last game they had Rel and Wukong to go in on the carries and protect them, but now all you have is this Nocturne to try and go in and single out a target. But with 3 Beefcakes plus a Seraphine ult, I feel like it's going to be much more difficult to get to the Sivir, and this Twilight squad can peel so much.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. The Sivir's going to have to be one shot. This Nocturne on Herald on the Nocturne's going to have to get a lot done early, get himself a sizable gold lead, in hopes that he can obliterate the Sivir before the side of Twilight can react to his engage. I mean, lots of late game assurance ornaments are going to be coming through for Twilight. Sivir herself is a very good scaling champion. Like you said, the Seraphine shields. Mundo, in my opinion, probably the strongest late game champion right now. I really think that Mundo is kind of broken, particularly top lane. But we'll see how Steve-O does in the jungle with it.
I mean, technically you still have, well, it's one melee, so Heartsteel is going to be much more difficult to proc here for Mundo. But Steve-O really likes junglers that can utilize Ghost, huh?
Yeah, he does. That's true, yeah.
But, so by proxy, Steve-O must like me. Yeah, thank you.
Junglers with Ghost, that's a good one. Because you are a jungler called Ghost, so yeah. I like it. Picasso. Alright,
Yeah.
I like to do this. We're going to go into game 3. If you had to have one of these drafts, Ghost, which draft would you want to play? No nameplates, forget about your teammates, you just have these drafts in front of you.
I mean, I feel like I could play either of these drafts. I feel like the burden of execution is going to fall onto this Mayhem squad, because they have to go through so much simply to get to the Sivir, who's going to be the main damage dealer. And on the other side, if the Sivir gets put behind in the early game, it's going to be really difficult, because, while Seraphine herself does have a lot of damage, she really needs to get to a couple of items to get to her potential. So does Mundo, which can be a late game, burst champion while tanking everything. So I feel like Dr. Mundo here is becoming Ornn Light with the tank, mage assassin, bruiser, and the rest of the copy pasta.
I definitely agree with you. So for the last time today, we're going to drop it over to a quick video, and we will be back once we are in game.
I wish I could tell you that I want you here with me, but you'll never love me like the way we used to be. Too far from Saturn, lost in the patterns, where's the stars align so we could be free? Palms are sweaty, knees unsteady, I can't see my head on straight. Heart is heavy, wasn't ready, don't think I can see your face. Now we're just friends, how long till that ends? It feels like forever away. It
There. Wizard?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with game number 3, as there we go, it finally kicks in. Game number 3 today between Celestial Twilight and Frostbite Mayhem, and it looks like Twilight are trying some funky stuff here.
Yeah, we're seeing some level
Flash
1
hook.
shenanigans.
Oh, the flash traded. Urgot did manage to react to that in time. Does get his own flash off. But a flash for the support, flash for the top laner. I don't know which side I'd rather be.
Cliff, this is advantage Twilight, but also I'm going to Flamecraft.
Because he didn't take Hex Flash?
Yes.
Yeah, I just spotted that too. Why is he going to... Craft! You went Spellbook and you didn't go Hex Flash?
Exactly.
What is he doing?
Exactly, Cliff. You are the support main, so you can in detail go about how much Craft has... Well,
Yeah,
I want to keep it PG, so Craft has really misplayed the runes there.
Yeah, one of the whole benefits of going for Spellbook on support is the fact that you get to take the Hex Flash for free, and it doesn't really affect you too much. I wonder what he's gone. Can I take a quick look? What did he go? He went Footwear, Triple Tonic, and Cosmic Insight. I'm not sure on that one. I feel like the Hex Flash has a lot of value, especially for a Blitzcrank as well. Like, come on.
I mean, like you said, it is a hook champion, so if you want to be the best hooker possible, you really have to nail those hooks and getting
good hook onto the Nami. That was a lot of damage traded out. Craft doing really well with that hook there. Maybe we need to have more faith. Maybe we are the of little faith right now, because that was a good hook.
You know what? I'm going to be eating my words. I'm just gonna eat my words there, and I'm going to have faith in Craft because of that game number 1 performance on the Nautilus. I'm going to say, good on you, Craft. You know better than us, but you're still a dirty inter for not taking Hex Flash.
Oh, almost threads the second hook over onto the Nami as well. Bo with good spacing though, and this is the problem with Nami into Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is going to try and hook you every opportunity that he gets, and he only needs to hit you with one at the wrong time, and your lane is done.
Yeah, it is really difficult there. Ooh, that's a nice buffer there. As you already see a little bit of a CS advantage there in the bot lane that should even out with these two range minions, but the freeze has now been destroyed by Bo as we do see the Asol farming it up very nicely against Luna here. At Stevo coming in for an early gank here, so I mean this mid lane is going to get pressured quite a bit.
Oh, my directed camera was just looking at Craft running back to lane, so that was an interesting thing for me there.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, look at that damage traded down. Craft's going to go for this hook. The bubble misses. There's the knock-up. Heal's already come out. Ignite down onto the Nami. Good body blocking. The hook follows through. First blood over to the Blitzcrank. Probably should have tried to give that one over to the Sivir, but a lot of damage traded down. Heal for Ignite trade. And Blitzcrank's going to really enjoy that. It's one less survival tool that this bot lane have now.
Well, Craft went for a first back Dark Seal, so that means he's taking as many of these kills from Ket as possible.
That trade in the top side, this Urgot is not having a fun time. It was picked into the Ornn, so they knew what they were up against, but Wizard is very experienced on this champion, and he picks up the solo bolo in the top side. Good flash to make sure he doesn't go down to the tower. Skimpanzer's going to have to blow the teleport now.
Skimpanzer also went for the Cole start there. Bit of a disrespect angle there into the Ornn, but also Wizard went for the very, very smart Bramble Vest first buy here. And Cliff, I'm getting flashbacks to last week, because last week Wizard got about 4 or 5 solo kills in game number 1 when he played Ornn.
He did. Very proficient on this champion. Probably Wizard's most played champion. Oh, the double Q coming down. Luna really committing into trying to do as much damage to Aurelion Sol. Aurelion Sol is picking up a lot of stacks off it though. But yes, Wizard on this Ornn popped off amazingly. Sorry, stuttering there. Popped off amazingly in game 1 last time. Last week, sorry, on this Ornn. So yeah, we're expecting a shot. Oh, good hook, and my camera does not care. The ult comes down from Luna though. Luna picks up a solo bolo of her own onto the Aurelion Sol. Fantastic ult with the follow-up.
Well, last game we were very critical of Luna, but now it seems like she has shaken off the nerves from the Syndra and has put on her carry pants as she does take the kill, which also allows for a lot of pressure to be exerted and this first Drake of the game to be picked up by Twilight here.
Just want to
Game number 1 in game.
Just going to point out, Ghost. Oh, hold on. He's maybe looking for another hook here. He's shifted away from Buddy Ezreal. Our mid laner is in the chat right now, who's happy that Liscacity has died because he wants Aurelion Sol's win rate to stay low so that he can keep playing Aurelion Sol.
Well, that seems like a very smart decision by Pharah. Also, hi to Pharah and hi to Pika. Pika was also in the chat earlier on. You know, our teammates from Div 4. But Pharah, I think teams are not going to get dissuaded by someone else losing on Asol. But yeah. Cliff, what I wanted to say was red side
comes through. There's the knockup. Wizard doesn't have the flash. He's gonna still go for it. Just barely misses out with the Q, but flash blown by Skim Panzer. Another root coming down in this mid lane. There's a lot of action already.
Yeah. Game 1 was won on red side. Game 2 was won on red side. So is red side just broken here, Cliff?
It does look like red side's OP. I think what we saw I believe it was last Worlds, is that the B1 picks were really what decided games. Blue side was OP, and then obviously they bring in Fearless draft, and I think Fearless does innately give an advantage to counter picks. So maybe red side just is OP.
Yeah, red side busted, as we do see the Grubbies being secured there by Twilight, who also secured the first Drake, so a lot of objective control coming Twilight's way. They do have a 1500 gold lead here, 8 minutes into the game. You know, it's not as detrimental of a gold lead. Ooh! That was almost stolen.
It was almost stolen. Bit of a late smite from Harold. Didn't need to be as scary as it was, as Steve was walking away from it after he threw the Q, but yeah. Viscosity may be in trouble. Flash forward. Kraft knocks him out of his shift, then hooks him into the Seraphine ult. Kill is going to go over to Luna, picking her second one off of the game.
And during all of that, Cat is just farming in this bot lane. It's dodging, dipping, diving, and dodging.
Oh, Harold flashes, predicting the Ornn E just to keep the fear on, but it may be a bit overzealous with that one here. It is a fully armor stacking Ornn. This Ornn has, oh my god, the Ornn has a Bramble Vest, a Warden's Mail, and a cloth armor already.
Cliff, 1 Q and W from that Ornn did more damage than what Harold and Skimpanza did, but Liscacity here bullying Luna.
The flip comes out early. Wizard's going to get the double brittle procs. Should have held on to the flip for a little bit longer there, Skimpanza. You really don't do enough damage to this Ornn Wizard picks up his second solo bolo of the game, and this Ornn is looking disgusting right now.
Yeah, he really is. As Croft uses clarity, I love this.
What's the hook on the Nami? That's a lot of damage. Hill comes out to save. Flash forward by Ket, and it may be a bit too much. He's going to get bubbled after the Nami ult, and now Kraft may be a bit caught here as well. Very overzealous. Harold happens to be on this side of the map and does manage to get the counter engage on for his team. It was a good escape from Bo, though. The Nami ult followed up by the bubble after Ket's flash forward.
Yeah, Bo still had flash for all of that as well. That just shows how safe he felt there. But that was, I think they should have left it at that really nice engage. I think Ket probably was not getting that kill even if Harold wasn't in the area. So it was a nice initial engage from the side of...
Oh, the flash ult from Luna, maybe a bit too overzealous, but does force the flash out of the ASOL. It does work out in the end. It was a nice ult flash from Luna.
As we see, Thornmail first item for this Ornn. You know, basically any item does work for Ornn, but the thing is, you really have to build for the matchup, and Wizard is playing it very tight-knit and very smartly, you know, playing for the matchup.
Nami does have flash. He's going to go down instantly. Harold's ulted in here. He's 3v1 situation, trying to burn down the Seraphine of Luna, but he's going to hand over a killing spree to Luna. Wizard's going to get the knock-up on the ultimate and the brittle proc. Going to go for the second brittle proc. Does he get it? Gets the knock on the wall. Crocs his brittle. Gets his third solo bolo of the game. This game does not look fun to play if you are Skimpanzer, who had the counter pick in this matchup.
Yep, he had the counter pick. He went for the Urgot. I'm going to be honest, Cliff. You know, Urgot is not the best champion to pick into Ornn, as Josh might be getting though.
Josh is going to try and trade Kraft. It was a good flash. Kraft is going to eventually fall down to him. This tower is mega ramped, and it's a nice trade. Mayhem picking up the kill on the overzealous dive there.
I think they probably should have just waited for Steve-O, because Steve-O was already finishing up that Drake. I think it was good. It was a good idea from Kraft to, you know, try and deny the escape route from Josh. And even if Bo was there, you know, Bo did use the ultimate. But if Steve was there for the beginning of the fight, I think with the three of them, they probably just could have gotten the kill anyway, simply because of how much damage the Mundo can do with those cleavers.
Yeah, Heartsteel finished for the Mundo as well. That's going to be stacking up very nicely. It almost finished with the jungle item as well. He's a few camps up on the Nocturne, which isn't really something that I would expect in this matchup, personally.
Yeah, we really don't expect a full tank to be ahead of a bruiser.
Kraft is looking, flash forward, gets the hook onto ASOL. Then the ult comes out from the Seraphine. Luna picks up a fourth kill of the game, and this Aurelion Soul is getting absolutely bullied.
Cliff, I was expecting the solo laners of Frostbite to be the ones, you know, getting ahead or at least being even, not them getting behind here. You know, I fully expected Skimpanzer, you know, because of the confidence to go into the Urgot, to have, you know, some game plan that would probably get him ahead.
On the bot side, both hooked again by Kraft. Manages to get the flash. It's a fantastic bubble, followed up by a fantastic ult. Josh is going in. He's going to pick up Ket here. And there's not much Kraft can do about it. Now Steve-O's caught on this top side. He's going to get executed by Skimpanzer. Kraft's going to fall in the bot lane. Now Wizard's trapped up. It's chaos in this entire map. Wizard's going to go down and hand his shutdown over. Oh, he is not. It's a nice save by Luna. Wizard does eventually fall, and now Luna's kind of trapped with Skimpanzer and Niscasity hitting her down, and Celestial Twilight get aced all across the map.
They pushed their advantage so hard. There were so many shutdowns that went over here. The objective bounty of the first brick was claimed. Cliff, we were staring at a 4.5k gold lead at one point for Twilight. the game has not gone back to even.
The
What is
game-
happening?
Yeah, the game is even. Some nice little alley-oops, some layups presented to Frostbite Mayhem by Twilight here. His Skimpans are going to be able to get out. He doesn't have enough manage, but Blitzcrank is slowed. The shift forward with the rocket belt. Kraft going with the tasty item choices this game, by the way. He is cooking.
Yeah, Kraft going with the Zap Zap rocket belt as Luna. If she didn't dodge that ultimate, she was dead. As
Gonna get feared by the Nocturne. There is a TP coming down here by the Urgot as well. Cat Oda staying for that tier 1. He's gonna hand the 3rd kill of the game for Aurelion Sol. This Aurelion Sol at one point was 0 and 3. Has picked up 3 kills in less than 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think Cat wanted to stay for another wave, but you know, it's the nature of the ADC. They always greed for one more wave. As Wizard at least is going to take full advantage of that overstay from Cat and 4 people going into the bot lane and have some alone time with that turret and secure it for himself. As that's a nice attempt from Kraft. I think it's very smart what he wants to do. This is something that people would do on Blitzcrank mid lane back in the day. You know, ult the wave or clear out the wave with the Blitzcrank passive, and then go for hooks there. As we do see Liz Cassidy going up against Wizard. You know, it's sort of a free lane here for this Acel who outranges everything Diorn wants to do. So very smart lane assignments here from Frostbite. As this Acel is currently sitting on 160 stacks. I would have expected it would be so much less after that early game. As ooh, nice attempt by Kraft, but I think those hook attempts should really go on to Bo, as this Ezreal can almost always dash out of a Blitzcrank hook.
Yeah, forcing the Ezreal to shift out does mean they did get to take the priority in this bot side, and now Mayhem have to be very careful. Harold's going to get hooked, and instantly a ton of damage is going to come down. He ults back in onto Kraft, onto Ket, sorry. There comes the Seraphine ult. It's a massive charm from Luna, saving the fight, keeping her ADC alive. All props to Luna, that fight.
Yeah, Luna flashing out out of all of that damage.
There's a big stun of hook almost comes down onto the Aurelion Sol. Sorry, Ghost, I thought the fight was done. It is now, though.
Yeah, now it's done after Liz Cassidy has to flash over.
Oh, maybe not, because Liz Cassidy's going to find Ket. Ket's now 0-4 this game, not having a great game, and Aurelion Sol picking up all of these stacks. Ket's staying for a wave he probably didn't have much right to, but Celestial Twilight up to Soul Point.
One more wave. That seems to be the name of the game of how Ket dies this game. Still, it is going to be the Drake secured there for Twilight. They do secure Soul Point. That ult from Luna saving the fight there. Massive ult, another triple kill there from Luna. You know, 8-1 and 2 on the Seraphine. I really think Luna should have probably gone towards a more carry-oriented build, or at least gone for the Liandry's Torment to sort of bully out a lot of these health stackers.
Yeah, they're definitely putting all of their eggs into this team comp's particular basket of making sure the Sivir stays alive, so the Sivir can pump the damage out. But you're right, if there was more damage onto the Seraphine of Luna, then she would be much more of a threat. Doesn't seem to be having any issues right now, hitting some amazing ults, some great flash ults. And if we remove everything but that sort of 2.5 minutes where Celestial Twilight just decided to hand a ton of gold back over, they have played well. The biggest.
Say in.
I didn't say in.
I said you can say it.
But I didn't say in because it. I mean, it was a bit in. Yeah, no, they were in. Yeah, okay. They were in. I was trying to be nice, but yeah, no, they in it a bit. Yeah. But you're right. It's going to come down to Ket's spacing. Can they keep Ket alive? Is Ket diveable? Can Nocturne blow the Sivir up? And I mean, when they group up like this, it's going to be so difficult for the side of Mayhem to find him.
Yeah, there's no sugar coating it. Twilight tried to push their advantage way too hard. They were way in over their heads, trying to go into mismatch fights as this Atacon is up, and Twilight are focusing the Herald while Atacon is being focused down by Frostbite. And could this be an error in calls? Could this be, Twilight being a little bit overzealous, or well, they're just converting?
Twilight are going to get it here. They're going to force him up. It's a great Ornn ult. They have to flash away. Atacon's down to 4k HP. There's a fantastic ult from the A soul. Harold goes in, but Ket just doesn't die, being able to stay alive for so long. Atacon down to 1,500, goes down to Harold. It's a great smite. Skimpaz is going to get rooted and killed off on the side of this fight. But it was a fantastic smite wizard here now in a 2v1 situation. Gets the double knockup. He's going to trade down to the Harold. But here comes Kraft. Can he hit another hook? He's done so well so far. Harold looks for his escape. The hook just misses. And the Seraphine Q falls short as well. They trade some kills over for the Herald and the Atacon. I think Harold may be as good as dead right now. The cleaver hits, and that's going to seal the end of his day. Well, he is a speedy boy, though.
Stevo has Ghost coming up, and he's going to probably hit the hook. Doesn't want to give up a kill over to Luna, who I don't think Luna needs more kills in this game. She already has 10 kills. Ket is going to try and block the Ezreal ultimate, but is not even in range for it. Sorry, is not going to even get hit for it from it. So a bit of a waste of summoners. But Ket surviving this fight, most importantly, and getting a kill, his first of the game. So that means Ket, well, now at 2 items, and is still ahead in gold from this Ezreal, who doesn't seem to be doing quite a lot. It does seem to be more of this Asol and Nocturne trying to do the brunt of the damage and the grunt work for this Frostbite squad.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fight where, obviously, Mayhem had the Atacon debuff, the MR and the Armor Shred, but it was a fight where the Aurelion Soul ult hits the Sivir, the Nocturne gets onto the Sivir, and the Sivir just barely survives. I think if Stevo had have managed to have secured that Atacon, it would be proof of the game just being turned straight back into Twilight's favor, but it doesn't feel unplayable despite it being nearly a 6k gold lead.
No, it really isn't. As Kraft there uses teleport to go back mid lane, but also accidentally uses flash.
Oh, he did flash. Or is flash on cooldown because of Spellbook?
Spellbook?
Because it's moving pretty fast for flash, and he changed it to smite. Okay, that's probably what he's done. Used TP, used the flash, traded it over so that he has the smite. They've got 2 smites on this. 4,000 HP. They're going to try and contest. They're letting Harold walk in, and Kraft picks it up with his smite. Now Wizard has a great flank, gets the knock-up and the ultimate onto the Nocturne. He's going to be in a bit of a difficult situation as the entirety of Mayhem were hitting him down, though. But it is Mountain Soul secured for Celestial Twilight. And,
yeah,
even harder to kill this Sivir now. Oh, it's a great buffer from Skimpanzer on the Urgot Eve there.
Yeah, Cliff, 3 beefcakes, 1 Seraphine, and the Mountain Soul. If I'm Frostbite right now, I'm basically begging for Lescacity to hit multi-man ultimates and get some winning fights here, because otherwise...
falls onto Harold, and he's going to go down to Kraft. Fantastic hook. Luna with the ult manages to charm up Josh, gets the root down, not enough damage to follow. Luna did have a lot of damage traded down to her. But I'm not sure if you know of this interaction. You probably do. But Mountain Soul is fucking OP on Seraphine.
Oh yeah, I know. You don't have to use the empowered W to get the heal off. Basically, whenever Luna gets out of a fight, you can use her regular W, which allows her to get a root off, double Q off, and yeah, it's basically the best soul that Seraphine can get here.
And the Baron Nashor secured for Twilight, looking to really start to accelerate this game. Almost 7,000 gold in the lead. Baron Nashor secured, Mountain Soul secured. They are in the driving seat this game.
Yeah, Frostbite getting a turret in the mid lane, securing at least one objective, but that's really not something to write home about. I think Celestial Twilight are going to take the trade of turret for Baron, and they are going to push in and take a turret of their own as Bo gets hooked.
Oh, the hook comes down. Ket picks up his second kill of the game, and the situation in the game, the play state, is just so much more difficult for them to play now. Josh is also going to get knocked up. Then follow-up hook from Kraft, picked up by Stevo. Viscosity, you are in a bad spot there, my friend. You're going to get knocked up by the old North. Double brittle prop, and this is probably the end. They probably finish right here.
Yeah, they will end it here. The Sky's Descent did almost nothing to this Mountain Soul and also beefed up squad with the Seraphine, who is just healing up everyone with this Moonstone Renewer. And once this Mountain Soul...
Harold goes down. Skimpanzer's soon to follow. Bo's respawned, but this is Nami versus an entire team. You cannot do anything because Nami. This game is over, and Celestial Twilight pick up Bo. 11, 1, and 10 for this Seraphine. And finally, the game is secured. The series is secured. Celestial Twilight win.
I'm giving massive props to Luna. She played this game really, really nicely. Doesn't have the biggest of damage graphs, but whenever she was doing the damage, whenever it mattered, and I think that's really what brought down this game number 3. Getting so many kills in the mid lane, starting it off with a solo kill and then getting a couple of nice Blitzcrank hooks into follow-up from the Seraphine, hitting key multi-man ultimates in the big team fights. And I mean, this was a really well played game from Luna. I think a decently played series, had that massive triple kill with the Syndra in game number 2 as well, had the Deathless game in game number 1 on the Mel as well. So if I'm voting for MVP of the series, I think Luna is probably at the top of my list.
Yeah, Luna definitely in with a big shout. Much a little bit absent from game 2, but in this game, this third game, she seems to be doing so much work. We do have an interview lined up, and it looks like our guest is ready to get in here. So I'm just going to drag them over, and we are going to say a very big hello to you. How are you doing, Stevo?
Stevo, you're muted. You're muted, by the way.
Oh, shit. Not too bad. I'm not doing too bad.
So, 2-1 in the end. 2-1 in the end. The second game seemed a bit difficult to play, but game 1 and game 3, it did really feel like you had just a control over the map state. How do the games feel for you?
Yeah, I feel like game 1 and 3 we were winning pretty much at all points, other than we randomly got aced in game 3. But game 2, we didn't really have anything to fight with. Like, we were stronger. I think we were heading gold the whole game. But every time a fight happened, we didn't really have a way to start it.
Yeah, I feel like you guys got caught out a few too many times in the choke points, which allowed the DMF in game 2 to just pop off. But let's focus a little bit more on the positive sides. You had a massive game 1 with the Gwen there, along with Luna not dying a single time in game number 1. And then game 3, you pick up the Mundo here. You basically get ahead of Harold and farm. Was it difficult to play into Harold at all, or did you feel like you had an advantageous matchup being Harold's first split in the jungle and all?
Mm. Well, I don't think Harold really did anything any of the games. Like until 15 minutes, nothing really happened, and then on game 1, every champ I was just playing a champ where I outscaled him. So since nothing happened, I just was winning, right?
Yeah, I mean, it did kind of feel like the games were happening around Harold. I think, he tried to get that gank off early in game 1,
Yeah.
onto the bot side. Your bot lane kited back, and I think you just finished your Gromp, and you arrived to that fight with like full stacks ready for snip snip. Insta, like half health the support the moment you arrive with it. So, he tried to do some stuff, I feel like, but he definitely wasn't as proactive as he probably should have been.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think game 1 they tried to bait. They knew I wanted to play Gwen, and then tried to counter it with Jax. But then all 4 other champions were completely useless into Gwen, so it didn't really matter. Like Jax, it's fine Jax stunning me and doing Jax things, but if everyone else is useless, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, even then, I feel like if it's a top lane matchup, but Jax should have a little bit more of an advantage. But in the jungle, the game is just so fluid that the Jax really can't single out the Gwen. And you guys already had an advantageous matchup in game number 1 because of that Senna wanting to scale up. So good on you for tracking Harold. I mean, you were there for almost every gank that Harold was trying to do in game 1, and I want to ask something else. Were there any nerves in game number 2 or after the end of game number 2, or were you guys like, okay, let's lock in for game number 3. We got this. We're just going to get a good draft in, win game number 3, and call it a day.
Yeah, it's more just giving us options to actually do something because we didn't really have any champs in game 2 to actually allow us to make proactive plays. Really, it was Volibear, Poppy were the best 2 ways we had going in, and so we just made sure we had more like ways to get in. That's why we have the Ornn, we have the Seraphine, the Blitz in game 3, and it just worked. They couldn't just walk into us like they did game 2.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Game 2 felt a bit like a draft diff, to be honest. It felt like if you weren't already there, it was impossible for you to do anything. You had to be at everything so early just to stop them from walking into the chokes, because once they were in that area to contest the objective, it's impossible to get in there. So, 2-0 in series score after 2 weeks. The Golden Road still on for Celestial as an org. Not a single one of the teams has lost, so congratulations. You're not the first team to lose, so
Yeah.
nobody's going to flame you for that one. What do you think going forward for the rest of the split? Are you feeling confident? Is there anybody you're looking out for? What do you think the chances are?
Unless every Celestial team wins every game in groups, we won't be the first team to lose because we're not dropping the rest of the game for the rest of this group now. Because this is the only really team that had a chance, if anything. I think the next best team on paper is SPX, right? And then I don't know who else is in our group.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think you guys have gotten the weaker group.
I was Vortex, Nova, Reborn, I think. The other team, which is, I think on paper they're an okay team at best, but I think that's about it. And then I think the other group has the like second and third best teams in the division probably in OPN, and I thought Nice Arc, but they seem to have lost both their games. I don't know what's happening there. Maybe they're the Scrim gods and not us.
You are now not only Scrim champions of the world, but
Yeah.
official game champions of the world. So
sadly, the Scrims did matter, and then we still won.
Ooh.
And I would say it's a bit of a huge top gap for this series as well.
Yeah, Wizard was
game 3. Wizard is just taking over.
Yeah, a lot like game 1 last week as well.
Yeah.
On the Ornn.
Yeah, maybe he's alright on. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe Ornn is worth a ban against Wizard. I don't know.
And also, I think this Scrim Skimpanzer. I don't know how to say his name. I call him Scrimpanzer for some reason. He's played the player that's best into Ornn as well. He's got the most counter picks into Ornn.
Mhm.
And I think game 3 they probably wanted us to play Ornn and they picked into it. And he still got solo killed like 4 times.
Yeah.
So
Did you feel like you should have did you feel like they probably should have drafted the Fiora into the Ornn? Because it really looked like Wizard was in his element and was playing it like Ornn has a 100% chance win rate into Urgot.
I don't think anyone below Diamond should pick Fiora in general, so probably not. Like, I think unless you 1v9 the game as Fiora, you're not winning the game. Because Ornn just
Fair.
walks mid and just ends. Because I think the lane should go similar at least to Urgot. I think Urgot is chilling in that lane, but he just died 6 times, wherever it was.
Yeah.
I think Wizard just is the Ornn GOAT.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The Ornn was very impressive. 2 weeks in a row, he's been very impressive on the Ornn. So, Steve, one more question before you go. If you have to give out an MVP for the series, who would you give it to? You can give it to yourself if you really want to, but that's a bit cringe.
I'm quite cringe though, personally. I would like to give it to myself, but I'd give it to Luna, I think.
Yeah, Luna's
I
performance in
think-
game 3, crazy.
Yeah.
There was a
I
Seraphine ult around mid lane that just saved you a team fight.
Yeah, I think the Seraphine ults are huge, just healing us up every fight. And then somehow getting a solo kill on Seraphine, which I don't think I've ever seen before. And all this
One-
while
one-
being an enchanter build, pretty much.
100% agreeing with you there. Once you secured that Mountain Soul, it seemed like all Luna had to do was press W, and you guys were unkillable. You know, no, they couldn't even take out the shields from you, let alone anything else.
Yeah,
But
as
I
Beth said,
think-
the real Luna gets MVP.
Yeah,
We can determine who that is
I-
after.
I think that's all the questions we have. So before we let you go, do you have anyone you would like to shout out or give props to before we end the stream?
Yeah, I'll shout out Skimpanzer again, just for being terrible and yapping and trying to let his gameplay, like whatever he said, I'll let the gameplay show or something. He didn't really let any gameplay show. Not too much, at least. Yeah.
All right, Steve. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm going to cut you off before you give any more teams more rope to hang us with.
And Harold sucks.
All right, fair enough. No, that one's acceptable.
Okay.
That one's allowed. I concur with that one. I fully agree.
Okay. Also shout Tom. Tom's in the chat.
Oh yeah, shout out Tom. Tom's been here the whole day. He's been
Shout out
watching.
Tom.
Oh, thanks very much, mate.
Nice.
And
Yeah, thank you very much for casting. I'm going to go watch the Frostbite stream. Right.
hope you enjoy the rest of the split.
Right. Thank you.
All right. So, Ghosty, it was a fantastic day in the end. Well played by everyone. So, the stream is going to be back on Monday, and we are going to be streaming Celestial Vacuity versus Step by Step Camimentes. So, it should be a bit of a banger. You looking forward to playing? I'm looking forward to playing.
I'm looking forward to playing. I'm looking forward to proving why you and me are the defending Div 4 champions.
Good. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for watching us today. I've been Cliff. My lovely co-host has been Deadly Ghost. And we will see you next time.
Good night, everyone.
I wish I could tell you that I want you here with me, but you'll never love me like the way we used to be. Too far from Saturn, lost in the patterns. Where's the stars align so we could be free? Palms are sweaty, knees unsteady. I can't see my head on straight. Heart is heavy, wasn't ready. Don't think I can see your face. Now we're just friends. How long till that ends? It feels like forever away. Yeah, we're on, and we're on. It will never be enough. Now we're gone, and we're the only way I know to be alone. Too far from heartbreak, can't feel the pain. Ain't it a shame I think I sold my only soul? Palms are sweaty, knees unsteady, I can't see my head on straight. Heart is heavy, wasn't ready, don't think I can see your face. Now we're just friends, how long till that ends? It feels like forever away. Yeah, we're on, it will never be enough. Now we're gone and we're on our way. If I stay, if I go, it won't change this lonely road. So I guess I just had to wait for the feelings to fade. Oh, for the feelings to fade. Oh, if I stay, if I go, it won't change this lonely road. So I guess I just had to wait for the feelings to
There. Wizard?
I got.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating